Oh, oh, okay. Oh. All right, party people, welcome to today's live stream. It's always a pleasure seeing each one of your beautiful names on my screen. Warms my heart every single time. So, today we will be roasting a bunch of tracks. Now, this is going to be an in-depth, rigorous roasting. So, I've actually selected all the tracks ahead of time, and I got over 200 submissions. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to most of the tracks here. In fact, I wasn't even able to listen to most of them. Imagine listening to 200 shit songs in a row. It'll drive any boy crazy. So what I've done to kind of solve this problem in the future is I have started a YSAP Discord, okay, party people? And I've had the link in the video description below. So if you submitted your track for roasting, or you want to submit a track for roasting in the future, go ahead and click the link in the video description, join my Discord, submit your track there. And then what I want you guys to do is listen to each other's tracks, vote on them, comment on them, roast each other, and then the tracks with the most here. Let me just fucking mute this real quick. The tracks with the most upvotes or the most discussion around them or the most hatred, I will be selecting for my live streams in the future. So please go ahead, join the Discord. I'd love to see all your beautiful faces there. We can talk, ask me anything through there. I'll also maybe be doing kind of like a subreddit type situation in the future as well. So yeah, awesome. All right, beautiful. Join the Discord, party people. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with our first track. By the way, the idea behind the Discord is so that we can actually, as a community, roast each other, help each other, give each other the validation that we deserve. So I don't have to do all the work. So here we go. Here's our first track. This is Caleb Nathan with Aquatic Ambience. Take a listen. Oh, baby. That was Caleb Nathan with Aquatic Ambience. Caleb, very good work. Okay, let's just go in. Now we're going to rigorously roast and dissect every single piece of this track. So we're just going to start at the very beginning. Right, intro. Fucking amazing. Great ambience. Love the textures here. Love the water. Okay, it's very soothing. You know, amazing work. Great ARP. Wonderful ambiance. Okay. Underwater, very cool. Okay, so the drums here, all right, kind of weak. That kick and snare, it's not cutting through the mix, okay? What you could do, what I would recommend is actually up the kick and snare in terms of volume, make them a little bit more powerful, maybe sidechain them to the rest of the track. And then also possibly low pass both the kick and the snare. You see the high end of both still quite audible in the mix. And here's the thing, we're underwater right now. We can't hear any high end. We want those kick and snares to sound quite muted. So turn those up, but maybe make them a little less high-endy. Right. All good. Wonderful bass ARP. Okay, very good. And then, let's just skip ahead a little here. Big EDM build-up. Where's the drop? Where's the drop? Oh shit! Oh my god! Okay, so amazing drop, wonderful future funk, haywire type situation. But I wish you could give us a little bit more indication that the drop is happening instead of just thwacking us from the back side of the head. So here it comes. Love the silence. You know, even something as simple as like a reverse cymbal or a little white noise buildup will help kind of ease the listener into the fact that a drop is happening. So just make it a little bit less like they're dropping a piano from the Empire State onto your forehead. More like you can kind of see it coming, you can kind of anticipate it slightly more than you can now. As far as the drop itself goes, fucking amazing. Awesome melody. Love that sound effect there. Possibly make the drums cut through a little bit more, but still quite good. Love that. Okay, here you stop the kick and snare, and honestly, I just wish you kind of kept it going. This groove is so amazing. I want more of this bad shit. Great lead. Love the pitch bend. And we kind of stop. Mix goes down. Still a lot of kind of noise and ambience happening in the background. We definitely want this outro section to be overall quieter than the main section we have going on here, the drop. It still feels quite loud relative to the drop there. Maybe turn down the amount of ambiance stuff happening to kind of differentiate those sections a little bit more. But other than that, outro, very excellent. Sweet serenity. Feel like I'm talking to dolphins. Yeah, other than that, excellent work, Caleb. Thank you so much for sending. Keep at it, brother. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next roastee. Here we have Demaui. This is a Latvian producer. Shout out Demaui. Here, his track is called Cold. Let's take a listen. Oh, baby. That was Cold by Demaui. Man, that was creepy as fuck, man. Super awesome atmosphere, super dark. Reminds me of Arca. Some people said XXYYXX. Really amazing sound selection, super dissonant, super creepy sounding. Let's just talk about a couple of things throughout the track. So, you know, got that kind of coin crackle, really excellent voice flute type sound. I'm not even sure what that is. It's extremely well done. Check, check. Cool. Anyways. Super great intro. Maybe a bit long, but I don't know. I kind of don't mind it, really. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Super great here. Right. Tabla, super fast, and okay. So, what I would really love is if that first bass hit, so the first bass hit, probably the most impactful part of the track, right? Or at least it's supposed to be. It's technically the drop. Ideally, I would maybe want that first bass hit to have a little bit more attack. I don't see or hear you doing a kick on that first bass hit. Might be more effective, might have it be a little bit more dramatic, coming in with that big booty bass right in your face there. Generally, I feel like the kick might be a little low in the mix. Could be wrong. Love how slow and distorted that low end is. Super great. Right. And you know, it doesn't seem like you're adding any other instrumentation or sound effects throughout the duration of the drop. Once again, not even quite sure if that is necessary, but if you wanted to develop this a little bit more, I think you still have plenty of space to do so. Maybe make it sound a little even creepier than it is now. Let's talk about the outro. Pretty much identical to the intro. All good here. Okay, still outro, still outro. Keep it going, keep it going. Okay, then you go back to that single kind of voice flute sound. And really, I think you could end the track here at the 2:55-minute mark. I really don't think you need that extra 20 seconds of just the flute synth. I mean, we've heard that for the duration of the track. Really feels kind of superfluous on the outro. Just my 2 cents. Other than that, super amazing atmosphere, great instrumentation. Work on maybe tightening the intro and outro, maybe adding some more instrumentation towards the end of the drop, and maybe also making your kick punch through the mix a little bit more. Other than that, excellent work, Demaui. Shout out Latvia. Cool. Now we're going to go on the opposite end of the spectrum for some pop bullshit. Let's hear it. This is Sunny Is Real. Is it real? Is it?
It feels a lot better than when we started. You pulled the knife out quicker than I thought you would. Fucking with bum niggas that made you heartless. I opened you up more than I thought I could. But now we done, I can't feel the same way. Not with the same things, don't do the same things, I'm not the same. But now we done, I can't feel the same way. I got some new things, I do some new things, I'm on the new things, yeah. Is it real? 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 What you say to me? What you say to me? And you alright? They can miss me with all that. I drive my last sortie, I just ain't never called back. No games with me, don't come with controllers or headset. I rest less, try to fall asleep in a bank vault. That check clear, make the money flip like a somersault. These niggas broke, got their hands out like it's my fault. Wish I had it down for every fuck I could give to them. My time slip like two blind hoes who don't eat much. I'm stuck between a rock and a stone. Drunk and I barely made it home. Turning down the brightness on my phone. Bitch should've fucked me before I left. Trying to hit the DM with the number, I ain't even trying to text. Been humble, had to stand up, let my nuts down. Push the bins, $150, I don't give a fuck now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it real? 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 What you say to me? What you say to me? And you alright?
Whoa, that was Sunny Is It Real by 2018-221. Guys, please include, if you're sending me a download link, include the artist name in the song title so I can credit you, so these people can know you. Otherwise, I have to kind of scroll through the hundreds of submissions that I've already got. It's kind of a drag. So please, in the future, if you want your name to be on the show, included in the track title. Excellent track. Fucking awesome, man. Really great kind of Chance the Rapper type flow, plus some, maybe even a little bit of Frank Ocean, possibly. Really excellent production. The flute sounds kind of reminds me of the latest kind of Justin Bieber productions, like tracks like Company, tracks like Sorry. Not a diss, Justin's my homeboy. But let's just talk about a couple things throughout the track. So, really great intro, love that flute sound. Got the pitched up vocals, kind of like that Justin Bieber flow. Right? Super great here. Flute melody. Amazing drum production. Great vocal production as well. Great performance. Great layering on the vocals.
I opened you up more than I thought I could. But now we done, I can't feel the same way. Not with the same things, don't do the same things, I'm not the same. But now we done, I can't feel the same way. I got some new things, I do some new things, I'm on the new things, yeah.
Alright, so here at the 55-second mark, I'm assuming that this is the chorus, right? We switch over to kind of the 4 on the floor house beat, and then you're like, is it real? Is it real? Plus that flute melody in the background. Here's the thing. The drums are so energetic in the verse. They're so much more driving and powerful with the snare that when we switch over to the chorus actually has an overall lower energy level than the verse, which is kind of strange for pop music. Let's just take a listen one more time. Super driving drums. Switch to the chorus.
Yeah. Is it real? Is it real?
We got the flute. Flute's good.
Is it real? Is it real? Is it real?
Kind of building drums.
Is it real?
a micropercussion bag.
real?
But still, overall, it's actually feels like, to me, like a lower energy level than in the verse. What we could try doing to kind of compensate for that is maybe raise the filter cutoff on the synths that you have going on. Right now, they're super low and muted. Maybe there's another element that we could add there. Sorry, I thought I heard something in the background. Felt like my cat screaming. Never mind. Anyways, yeah, so it feels still to me that the chorus is at a lower energy level than the verse, kind of problematic in this kind of pop genre. Other than that,
Is it real?
super
They can miss
excellent,
me with all that. I drop.
super excellent production, performance, great job. All right, who do we have next? Let's, actually, let me take a second to pop over into the Discord, see how that's going. So I asked you guys, what would you rather prefer? Would you rather prefer sending in your tracks to a subreddit so that you can more easily upvote, downvote them, and then roast each other there? Maybe also kind of comment on each other's tracks, give us some helpful roasting critiques? Or would you rather do it in this Discord, which I've just set up here? If you haven't joined the Discord, go ahead and click the link in the video description to join. Let's just take a look here. What's going on? Are people just shitting on each other? 50 new messages since 15 minutes ago. All right, looks like it's fucking popping over here. So what I would encourage you guys to do is actually listen to each other's tracks and critique them. Please try and submit your tracks to the Roasts channel, not the general channel. If it's in the general channel, that's just kind of for us to talk and ask each other production questions. Please switch it over to the Roasts section. Do not post links to the general. We want the roast section to be where we're kind of talking and roasting each other. Anyways, let's get to the next track. I believe we have Yogg. This is Sothoth, Part 1. All right, that was Yog with Sothoth Part 1. Somebody described this as, Inaudible Pepe described this as the Taco Bell toilet stall. Not inaccurate, but amazing sound design, really excellent production. Let's just go through it and talk about a couple of things. So, right from the get-go, amazing textures, really fast, frenetic, sounds a lot like stuff like Noisia. Somebody also mentioned Aberlation. He's a great producer. Shout out Aberlation. Really awesome, intricate production here. Great, great. Okay, so the drop, or at least the first groove, starts at around the 44-second mark. I wish there was maybe a little bit more build-up to the drop. It feels like it's kind of dropping out of nowhere, and I think you could make that moment a little bit more dramatic by signaling to the listener that something's about to happen there. Because it's a great groove, maybe even just a little bit more silence right before, kind of like our boy Caleb did in the first track, to kind of give that drop a little bit more impact. Now, overall, the whole mix feels a little bit too kind of piercing in the high end, and maybe not enough sub relative. If we just take a listen to the drums specifically, a lot of attack on the kick, a lot of high end, a lot of clickiness. Still feels kind of quiet in the mix relative to the womps. Feels just a little harsh. I don't know. Really great groove though. Excellent sound design. That's a great sound. And I'm also not sure about the amount of reverb being used here. Sometimes on some of the sounds it works great. Other times it makes sounds feel a little bit more distant and less impactful than they should. Great groove. Tight, wet. Let's keep going. Same groove as before. Then, where's the drum and bass part? Okay, build up. Right. New groove. Yeah, man. Otherwise, excellent work. Super great sound design. Just maybe try to make the mix a little less piercing in the highs. Maybe make the drums a little less clicky. Kind of, I guess the term would be warmer. Not that I know what the fuck that means. And maybe kind of make that introduction of the first groove more feel like a drop. Give it a little bit more indication that something's about to happen there. Other than that, excellent work. Thank you so much for sending. I will be having the subreddit set up later today. Hopefully I can get r/YouSuckAtProducing or r/YSEP represent. And then I think that will be an easier way to upvote, downvote, talk about each other's tracks in maybe a more organized fashion than the Discord. Anyways, let's move on to the next track. Here we have Over Here by Tula Joy. Shout out to Tula Joy. Over Here. Let's take a good damn listen. Here we go. Here we go. God damn it. Hell yeah, brother man, Tula Joy with Over Here. Really interesting intersection between, I guess, trap and dubstep. Seems kind of genre agnostic, hard to categorize. Let's just kind of scroll through, talk about a couple things. So really awesome, kind of wumpy synth at the beginning there. Wumping away, wumping away. Wumping away. Once again, the water texture. Very good. Still wumping. Pretty much the exact same thing happening here. Other than the ta-da. Right. So that intro felt a little bit long, mostly because I feel the intro is probably the right amount of bars, the right length, but just the second half of the intro is almost identical to the first half. You know, very easy trick for this to kind of separate the two and create rising tension in that section would be to raise the cutoff filter on that wump synth, or maybe turn up the volume automation on the texture track, the water or whatever. You know, you could do something as cheap and EDM-y as a riser or something like that. I mean, there's any number of ways to kind of give the listener an increased amount of tension up to the drop. You feel me? So I think, you know, try to make that second half of the drop slightly more different. Same thing happens for the breakdown, incidentally. Really great kind of, I don't even know what the fuck that sound is. It's like an overdriven marimba. It's really great. Awesome melody. And then we reach the second half of this breakdown. Exact same thing. No additional instruments, no automation, no nothing. So I'm not really sure that the second half of that breakdown even really needs to be there. Or if you do feel that it does, then try to make it differentiated somehow. Okay, so you add the flute. Maybe you can start to have that happen a little earlier? I don't know. And then here, drop. So be careful with your mix here. The thing happening on the offbeat, I think it's kind of like a chain clank or some sort of high-end percussion. The thing that's this... That shit, that's louder than the snare, which is problematic. We really want our kick and snare to be the loudest elements, the primary elements of our drums, dare I say the mix. The chain thing happening on the offbeat is just a tad too loud. Hard to notice if you're mixing in headphones, but something I really noticed on my monitor, so turn that brother down. Other than that, super solid groove. Maybe you can make the snare a little bit more loud, percussive. But yeah. And then great melody here. One thing I noticed was that, where is it? The flute, that flute sound sounds a bit synthetic, a bit cheap, a bit corny. If that's what you were going for, it's all good. If we're living in the Legend of Zelda tour territory, that's all good. It's just a little kind of thin and cheap and tinny sounding. So the marimba, the processing you did on that, whatever the fuck that was, the overdriven one, sounded fucking amazing. Maybe you could do something similar on the flute as well. It just feels a little cheap. But the melody it's playing, very good. All right, that's pretty much it for Tout Le Joie. Next track, I think this might be my favorite of the ones that I got, just in terms of its execution. Let's take a listen. This is Hiraeth by Rosent Wig. Alright, that was Wraith by Rosenwig. Okay, beautiful execution, man. Really got the synthwave, vaporwave genre on point. Not the most original thing in the world. I mean, after all, we've all seen Drive. But just in terms of the execution of this genre and the ideas, I think it's pretty much flawless. If we just look at the beginning there, super beautiful intro synth. Sounds perfectly analog, although I think you said that you're just using Massive for this shit. It's pretty awesome, man. Super great ARP synth coming in. Everything sounds groovy. Skip ahead, skip ahead, skip ahead. And then, really like how you let the main pad synth and the ARP kind of drop out, fade away to make room for the bass. I think that was very effective. Bass sounds super wide, really great sound. Reintroduce the ARP. All good here, all good, all good. Great drums, especially that snare. Oh my god, so fucking retro. Yo, that makes me want to watch Stranger Things and look at cassette tapes. Just riding in my car with Ryan Gosling. We're not speaking. Great drums. Drop. Reverse cymbal. So, a couple people saying that it does feel maybe a little bit empty, maybe that it needs a vocal. I'm not quite sure. I mean, with the genre limitations here, I think it's kind of supposed to be a little bit sparse. But, I think there's plenty of room for a vocal or another synth or something like that. But also something to be said for restraint. Great snare. Love that subtle drum fill, that okay, I mean, that's all we really need to do to kind of bring the listener back in. It doesn't need to be the biggest fill in the world. It just has to be some slight variation to kind of keep the listener engaged. I think you executed that quite well. Great sounds. Great sounds. All right. Cool. Sweet, yeah, excellent work, Rosenwig. Give yourself a tap on the wrist, and I'll give you a repost. You can share that with your mother as a greatest accomplishment in your career. All right, so it looks like we just have 4 or 5 more minutes. Okay, let's see. Do I want to play the XX Tentacion beat? Fuck that. Let me just play this. I think this is kind of funny. Dude, greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. Holy shit, dude, that flow. Let's just bring it back one more time. Oh my god. It's like some trapped out Aladdin shit. Whoop, whoop. Wowzers. Oh my gosh. Oh, puts us all to shame. Oh man, I want to know this man's story. Okay, fuck Migos, fuck Lil Uzi Vert, whatever, man. I mean, this is the future right here. I called it. Thank you so much for sending. That was Shaish As Abu Dhabi. Ugh, fuck if I know, man. Anyways, looks like we're pretty much out of time. I guess let's see what we got here. Do we have time for one more? Let's go to our likes. Let's see. Let's take a listen to Glow Shirts, just very quickly. All right, that was Glow Shirts by Majahanimo. Excellent track. Felt like the kick was hitting the same tone, same note every single time, and that actually kind of collided with the bass harmony. That's just the first piece of feedback I have off the top of my head. Unfortunately, we have to stop because I have a lesson right now. But thank you for sending. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for participating. Shout out to Oshin, CF for donating. I appreciate that. CF, you're the man. Can't wait for our lesson next week. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining the Discord. Please start roasting each other's tracks there. Help each other out, provide feedback, etc. I will be putting up the subreddit hopefully later today. We'll be sending a link to that to you guys to join that shortly as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for participating. Love you guys. Peace out. Later.